I don't see much, I just see this hammer on the wall.
Okay. Turn into the hammer on the wall. Tell me more about what's happening now.
It's wooden, it just hangs there, it's like a mallet. I don't know what it's used for. I'm getting glimpses of it being swung. Right now it just is hanging on the wall.
So what are you doing in this scene?
Right now I'm just making, I'm forging metal. I'm using the metal tongs to move the metal around so I don't burn myself. I'm just heating the metal right now.
What are you making?
Just making more armor when someone, I think my wife has came in and is telling me that the house is on fire and our child is still inside.
What you gonna do now?
And so I just drop everything I'm doing and I run out. And I run and just immediately see my house just caught all in ablaze, and I just have no time to think about anything else except my son. And I just immediately start crying out, my son, cry out, Charlie, and he, just waiting for a response. I keep walking, just so hot, so much adrenaline happening, just so much, but I immediately just keep walking forward. It's like I just gotta do everything I can right now, and I just keep searching and searching. I hear no response. I have wood just falling from the roof, just falling down, and I hear a cry. It is like on the other side of the fire, and it's just so loud with the fire. I know I heard him. I know I did. He's over there, but I don't think I can get to him. I cry his name. I call out to my son. I ask, "Are you okay? Are you okay, son?" And I just hear crying, just hear pain, and I just know I gotta get over there. I know something serious is happening, and I just run. I try to move closer to the fire, but it's hot. It burns. I'm just watching everything fall. It's burning. I know I don't have a lot of time here. I just immediately, I just realize I gotta get out. I just can't go any further, and it's hard. I feel like I can't go back. I gotta save him. Think maybe what if I can go around? And I was just like, I gotta try. So I turn back, and so I find myself back toward the front, and now things are just so chaotic that I'm not even sure if I can get out now. See, but the only thing that's really on my mind is my son. So I have to figure out another way out. The way I came in is now blocked off. I see a window by the front door I can crawl out of, and so I do that. I run. But I cannot abandon my mission. I have to save my son. I cannot. It is just so much in the moment. There is. I just see my wife crying and screaming and calling out. She runs up to me and asked if I saw him, and I said I can't see him, but I heard him. I just say, don't worry, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna save him, I'm gonna go. So I run to the other side of the house where I heard him on the outside. And everything, just like our right side of the house, there's just a part where it's just caved in, where the wood is burnt and just fallen down, where everything, so much chaos, so much thoughts, I cannot wait. I run to the other side. Now behind the house, and I just absolutely do not see a way. I start kicking some of the walls. I start calling out his name. Where are you? Where are you? I hear my wife coming around to check up on me. She's running up. She's trying to pull me out. She's trying to. I know she wants our son, but she can't lose me. I have to go in. I go in. I just jump in, and there's just nowhere to go. I start kicking the walls. I start kicking, just doing what I can to get to him. I cry out his name. I cry out to you, Charlie, can you hear me? I do not hear anything, just the fire erupting, the black smoke. I don't even know how much longer I can be conscious. I just kind of break down. I'm on the ground. I can't leave. I can't leave my wife with nothing. There's just nothing I can do. I have to leave. I gotta go. I crawl out the window. I shake. I stumble. With the little consciousness I have left, I move in that direction. I don't want to. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to leave him.
Now what happens?
I crawl out the window, but I make it out the window. With what little consciousness I have. With what emotions are running through me. I just kind of think I just kind of pass out. I just remember my wife running up to me and holding me. I think she drags me, and I just can't really see the sky. I see the clouds. I just see the fire. I just see the house at the corner of my eyes. Just using all my strength to stay in consciousness, and just all I can think about is him. I pass out on the ground while my wife drags me away from the fire. And I know she's sad. I know. But I couldn't leave her alone. I wake up in a bed. It's the hospital, the medical or doctor just being monitored. I wake up and I just look at my wife and she's just in distraught. I knew what happened. There's just in my head, I just think if there's something more I could do. If I could have maybe kicked the wood a little harder, or just something. If there's just a way, maybe if I started looking at the other side of the house first, just maybe something that could have. I just can't accept what happened. It just had to have been a different way. I just can't.
Thank you for the information. You can leave that scene now. We're going to move forward to another important day. The day is something very important happening. And you
see another house.
Tell me about this. Another house?
Our new house.
So you rebuild?
Yes.
Okay. Seems like you're moving on.
Yes. We've moved on. It's been tough. Things just never felt the same. Even though we've moved on, there's still not a day I don't think about that day. And so, every day I just decide I just can't stop thinking about it. But I have to keep making armor. I still have to live for my wife. But I made a mistake. I wasn't focused. I swung the hammer and the metal flipped, and it flipped right on top of me. It was burning hot. It was scorching. It was excruciating. It was try and scream for my wife. But in my forge, it's where I do my work. It is secluded. And no one could hear me. All I can think about is what more I could have done that day. And it is now costing me my life. I could not focus. I just lay there. start to feel a sense of calmness. I think I see like it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do. I just look at the ceiling. Just look up. Just feel the pain. I just almost don't feel it. It's there, but I almost don't feel it. It saddens me that I have to leave like this. Feeling like I could have done more. Which caused me to make another mistake.
You don't have to feel this physical sensation anymore. You are now on the other side. Every life has a lesson. Let's look back at the entire lifetime with a different perspective. What lesson could you learn from looking back at that life?
I could learn that things just happen in life. Sometimes they are out of our control. We can only do our best. But sometimes there's only so much we can do. There's a lot we can give, but nothing is guaranteed. I feel like I did my best, but I held on to I couldn't let go of what happened. But we can't change the past. We must live in the present. And if I hadn't lived in the present, I could have been more present for my wife. I wouldn't have made mistakes. I felt like I made a mistake.
So what do you think the purpose of living that life is?
The purpose of that life was to just see that things are out of your control. And when you learn to accept that, you can live more strongly in the present. You need to let go. What has happened in the past has happened. And you just need to use what you have been through to make you stronger. Not to make you weaker.
Anyone on the other side to greet you?
Yeah, I feel my son. He's there.
Do you get to reconnect with your son? How do you feel?
Yeah, he's...
How do you feel now?
I feel great. I never thought I'd see him again. And he just runs up like with a smile. Like, I just see him as beautiful as the day I lived with him. And all I wanted to see is a smile. I feel so connected. I think I realized he was, I don't know, he hugs me, he gives me warmth. He doesn't cast any judgment on me. He doesn't see me as a failure. He saw me just as the dad I always was. He didn't think I did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel now?
I'm shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Just trembling with love, with realization, with forgiveness. I realize how much I beat myself up. I did it for him, but I just feel so warm. I felt like I wronged him in some way. I know deep down it wasn't my fault, but I realized that he didn't feel that way. You know, there was no reason to feel guilty. And it just feels so warm to feel his love that I thought was just gone. And that's priceless.
Priceless indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where you're going from here?
No.
Do you know what you have to do now?
Yes.
What do you have to do now?
Just gotta give love. I gotta seek my next path. I choose to incarnate with, I give myself time to digest the lesson. I digest the lesson. I sit with Source. I sit with my son from that lifetime. And I know moving forward I will set a new path. And it will be with my son again.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. May I speak to the higher self now, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much. You could have brought forth many different lifetimes for him to see today. You brought forth the life of the blacksmith and a lot of important lessons in the story. Why did you show him that? What is he to learn from that?
Sam is to learn that life happens, that things are outside of his control, but that things are always teaching us, that there is always a higher purpose behind them. He was shown this life to be stronger, to not feel a burden, to forgive himself. to just choose the stronger perspective of things, to be okay with not knowing why things happen. Even if it seems tragic, we can, humans can hold on to tragedy, negative emotions, and we have experienced things where things seem tragic and it is held on to. And even the guilt, the shame of thinking that you could have done more, that you should have done something else. That Sam lived a lifetime where he thought his son would judge him for his actions, even though he knew he took his best course. He took his best course, yet still he did not get his desired outcome, and held on to that. And that he felt he should have done better. He felt weak, but in the end he realized that he did not disappoint anyone. He learned a lot from this lifetime. He was very compassionate for his son. He did everything he could, and he knew it. But he held on to what he thought was a mistake, even though he knew he did the best he could. He caused him to not be his best self in that lifetime. And because he could not focus, he made a mistake that ultimately caused him his death. But we can learn from this and realize that always do your best. You can't control people's reactions, but you can control how you feel. You can control your perspective. And the worrying will only cloud your mind of what you can't control.
Thank you so much. Thank you.